Dave Parody, author of the Visual Slide Revolution here, with 12 things you need to know if you're going to be using a web meeting to replace a face-to-face meeting because of this big flu pandemic scare we've got going on right now. First, select a service that supports both Macintosh and Windows type PCs. See, if you've got people calling in because they're at home now, can't come to the office, you don't know what technology they might have at home. It's not the corporate setup that you're all used to. So don't exclude someone just because the technology that they're using at home isn't exactly what the corporate setup is. So make sure you select a service that has compatibility with both types of personal computers. Also select a service that allows you to share your desktop as opposed to you have to upload all of your content to their system and then only use their system to present. If you share your desktop, it gives you flexibility. It allows you to go into any application you need, show anything that you need during the meeting, much more productivity with everybody on the line. Select a service, if you can, that allows the audio to be transmitted both via the telephone and via voice over IP audio, meaning the sound comes out of the speakers on their computer and they speak, it goes into the microphone on their computer and everybody hears it. You don't know where the people are going to be. They might be in a location where telephone service isn't working, or it's very, very expensive for them to dial in because they have to use a cell phone. A lot easier for them to connect with a service that allows the audio to be going down the same pipe and through their computer. They're going to be in areas that are not the controlled corporate audio environment. So make sure that you as the meeting planner, the meeting leader, and each of the participants can mute their audio individually. If you're in a noisy location, some people again are going to be working from their home because the offices are closed. Make sure that they can mute the distractions in the background so that everybody can have a productive meeting. As the meeting organizer, the meeting leader, you need to be able to individually mute someone because they may not realize that the noise that they're hearing is coming from their location. It could be a bad microphone, could be something to do with the location of their computer. It's picking up some other noise that they're not even aware of. So make sure you can do that individual muting. You're going to have some participants who live in rural areas, and a lot of rural areas in North America today, their only connection to the internet is via dial-up still. So limit the visuals that you're going to use if some of those participants are still on dial-up. They can't take a lot of graphics coming down the pipe. It's going to be very slow for them. So keep that in mind when you're planning the meeting. Check out where people are, and if some are on dial-up, you're going to have to take that into account. As the meeting leader, what you want to do is to set up a second PC beside your normal PC and log it on as a participant in the meeting so you can always check to see what they're seeing. A couple things. First of all, when you transmit something new down the line, there's a delay due to the bandwidth that until it comes up on their PC. You'll see that if you set up a second PC. Also, if something doesn't work through the system, you're trying to show something and it just doesn't transmit very well, you'll know that your participants aren't seeing it and be able to deal with that issue quickly and keep the meeting on track. Movement is something also that is affected by the bandwidth delay. Try to reduce the movement on slides. The flying, the zipping, the twirling, the spiraling, all that sort of stuff works nicely on your local PC, but now that movement has to get transmitted through the system, out through the internet, to these other participants. And they can't see it very well. It actually stutters, or it may not even appear at all. It'll kind of start and then end up in the final spot, and people won't really get what it is you've been trying to do. So reduce the use of movement, eliminate it if you can. Many times a video that's embedded in, for example, a slideshow, a presentation show, won't play because of just the way that these systems work. So many times you're going to have to use, if you want to show a video, use a media player instead of embedding that video into a presentation. It seems to reduce the number of problems. Now this is, it does depend on what type of video you're using, what type of system you're using, but it's usually safer to do it this way. If you're going to use visuals and you normally use, let's say, a laser pointer, you go, oh, well, these systems have the ability to use these drawing tools. I'm going to suggest you don't use them because it's hard them to be used accurately. And again, it suffers from this delay of movement. So people see something jumping around on the screen and they're really not sure what you're pointing to. Instead, use callouts. This example here, we've got the arrow pointing to a particular spot, and the callout text tells us why that spot is important. This is what people are going to be able to use a lot easier than the drawing tools. A number of services allow you to have more than one presenter and allow you to switch that presenter during the actual meeting. This is important because if someone else has a document, a diagram, something else that they'd like to contribute to the meeting, how are they going to do that? Well, if you're an in-person meeting, it's easy. They just show it to everybody. But in a web-based meeting, you want to be able to switch the presenters to that person. They bring up their screen, show what it is they needed to show. Everybody goes, okay, great, good idea. And you move along. Your meeting is much more productive when you're able to change the presenter. Capturing notes. Normally you might be using a flipchart to capture action ideas, follow-up ideas. Well, you don't have the ability to have a flipchart in a virtual meeting, in a web-based meeting. So open up a word processor window and switch to it to be able to take those notes. Everyone can see what it is that's being typed. Everyone knows exactly what it is. They can agree on it. And the great thing is you have the ability to save that file and email it to everyone immediately after the meeting. There's no delay of having to have flip charts typed up or anything like that. It's immediate, and it's a great meeting practice when you're using web-based meetings. Clean up your desktop. People are going to see your desktop. And so you want to get rid of all the programs that you are not going to use, close them up, and think about the background image you have on your screen. Is that really the best image that everybody else wants to see? It's okay maybe on your personal computer at home, but it may not be the best for everyone to see. Hope those 12 tips are useful. If you want more information on improving the effectiveness of your presentation by using persuasive visuals, go to my website at www.ThinkOutsideTheSlide.com. This is Dave Parody, author of The Visual Slide Revolution.